Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Gold with your end of the week gold analysis for the Friday week ending 30th of August. Elliott Wave is an exercise in probability, and at this stage I judge that the probability of this wave count that we've had a low down here has a higher probability than the possibility of a final fifth wave down, so this is now my main wave count. So I'm expecting we're in a new upwards trend for gold. We have a nice 5-wave impulse up here, what's obviously a corrective structure, a double zigzag most likely over here, and an extending third wave, with 1, 2, and the middle of the third wave extending, which is really common. So this explanation of this extension here has a good high probability. Within minute wave 3, no second wave correction may move beyond the start of the first wave. Movement below 1315.92 would invalidate this main daily wave count, and at that stage I would again seriously consider my previous wave count, which is now my alternate, which sees this upwards movement as intermediate wave 4 and needing a final fifth wave down. At this stage I'm expecting a continuation of upwards movement next week. Let's have a look at this unfolding third wave, where the end of minuet wave 1 up here is this point up here. I have two hourly charts for you looking at this extending third wave differently. This first hourly chart expects that minuet wave 2 was over here. This is exactly the same as my previous hourly chart published. This sees minuet wave 2 as a single zigzag of 5, 3, 5, with the B wave being a double combination. Minuet wave 3 has no Fibonacci ratio to minuet wave 1. So when we know where the fourth wave has ended, when we have some confirmation of the end of this, we should recalculate the target using minuet wave degree. I've made the target a bit higher. It's still also possible it could end around about this level with a really short fifth wave. That's certainly possible, considering the third wave is clearly extended. It's also possible the fifth wave could be extended and could minute wave 3 in its entirety would reach 2.618, the length of minute wave 1 at 1502. When I know where minuet wave 4 within this third wave has ended, I will add minuet wave degree to this target calculation, so it's going to widen to a zone or it's going to change in the next couple of days. At this stage I want to see a really clear, obvious channel breach of this best fit channel I've drawn around this fourth wave correction before I have any confidence that it's finally over and the final fifth wave up has begun. Minuet wave 4 may not move into minuet wave 1 price territory. Movement below 1384.60 would invalidate this wave count. If that happens, we'll use the second hourly wave count. For this one, the fourth wave overshot the previously drawn channel using Elliott's first technique. Sometimes fourth waves aren't contained in those channels. When that happens, we redraw the channel using Elliott's second technique. Draw this from 2 to 4, place a copy on 3, expect the fifth waves quite likely to end midway in that channel, and if it gets up there it should find resistance at the upper edge of the channel. If we see movement below 1384.60, it's all the same to this point here. And then after that, if we see this little piece of downwards movement as a 5-wave structure instead of a 3, which the first hourly chart sees it as, it's possible that minuet wave 2 was a briefer zigzag over here and that the third wave is incomplete. All the subdivisions for the rest of it are exactly the same. This is still seen as a 5. We have a correction over here. We have an extended third wave at subminuet degree, which has no Fibonacci ratio to subminuet wave 1. So when we know where the fourth wave has ended, then I'll calculate a target for minuet wave 3 to end for you. And again, the subdivisions here are all exactly the same as the first hourly chart. It's just the degree of labelling has been moved all down 1 degree. And I still want to see a really clear trend channel breach of this best fit channel drawn around the double zigzag. And the bigger channel is drawn in exactly the same way as well. Draw it from 2 to 4 with a copy on 3 and expect the fifth wave to be likely to end midway in the channel, a bit less likely about the upper edge. For this one, the invalidation point's a little bit lower, so if the first hourly wave count's invalidated, we've got a little bit more room for downwards movement. Sub-minuet 4 can't move into sub-minuet wave 1 price territory. Movement below 1377.74 would invalidate the second wave count. So I'm going to go with the wave count that has the best fit and the best look overall. It still has some pretty good Fibonacci ratios. It's expecting that we're in a new upwards trend for gold. At the moment, we're just looking out for the end of a little fourth wave correction. When that's done, we should see a resumption of the upwards trend this week for gold. That's all for me today, and I hope that everybody had a fabulous weekend.